So recently I reread this little booklet. It's by a writer named Klund. If you're Dutch, you probably know. If you're not Dutch, he got really famous by writing a semi-autobiographical novel in which he cheats while his wife is dying of cancer. So he's kind of an ass, but at the same time you kind of sympathize with him because he's really struggling with it, and sometimes they're even cute. Strange. Anyway, as you can probably imagine after reading that book, I thought it was kind of a jerk, but in here he's actually writing some really good points, so I want to discuss it. The title, by the way, is God is gek, which means God is crazy. And it was published last November for the Dutch month of spirituality, since everything needs a month or a day now. Just put this in the right context, I live in a country, or maybe it's just my surroundings, where it's not very easy to talk about religion. I think it's probably easier to come out as being gay as to say that you're religious in the traditional sense of the word. So the whole discussion is quite a bit different than, for example, the US. And especially in the media, religion is portrayed as something that's only for crazy people. If you're not really capable of figuring out the world on your own, you can probably turn to that. Well, at the same time, the majority of the Dutch people actually have stated that they do believe in something. Discussing this somethingism would need a whole other video, but it's a cool fact to think about. Also, before I start discussing things, I think I should say that personally I am religious. I am a Christian, but as soon as by saying that, I would have to explain a lot of things. Somehow, atheists the past year got themselves a mission. Kuhn actually calls it the intellectual crusade, because they seem to believe that every Christian is somewhat of a very crazy, narrow-minded creationist. You know, the one that denies science and wants to convert you and control your politics. And that is just not true. True, lots of Christians do actually make fools out of themselves, but that doesn't mean everybody agrees with them. People like Richard Dawkins kind of claim that they have the monopoly on thinking. According to him, science is like this intellectual highway towards atheism. But I don't think science can either prove or disprove the existence of a god. And I also don't think that it shouldn't, because these aren't things that we need to rationalize or that we can rationalize. It's the same with, like, love. Nobody tries to rationalize that, and that's actually what makes it such a great thing. I would just like to state that I'm not crazy. Yes, I'm religious, but that doesn't mean I believe the world was created in 6 days. That doesn't interfere with any of my opinions, many of you know, on gay marriage or abortion. I just think that people that are so focused on the literal meaning of the Bible kind of got the message wrong. My opinion is really about accepting. If you read the Bible, yes, I have read the whole thing. I think the message is much more about being accepting to other people, and it actually literally states that you shouldn't judge, just leave the judging to God, because nobody is actually perfect. Bottom line here is some open-mindedness and respect. Have never hurt anybody. Many beliefs people have are like on the core of their identity, so I understand why everything gets so sensitive so quickly. But I think it's really important to allow for gray areas and nuances. It's not that black and white, and I think it's important to realize that. And if everybody would just think about the possibility of them being wrong, it would be a lot more fun discussing. That's kind of my